The Call to Adventure. In the year 2147, Earth was not the beautiful planet it once was. Wars and conflict had changed it forever. Cities were in ruins, and nature was losing its battle against pollution. Among the tired people was Captain Alex Rider, a soldier known for his bravery. He had fought in many battles, but now he felt lost and empty inside. Alex stood at the edge of a crumbling skyscraper, looking out over the dark skyline of New York City. The sun set behind the ruins, casting long shadows on the ground. He remembered his friends who had fallen in battle. Each memory weighed heavily on his heart. He wanted to make a difference, but the never-ending wars drained his hope. One evening, while he was cleaning his weapon in the barracks, he received a strange message. It was a top-secret alert from Command Central. The screen flickered to life, revealing the stern face of General Hayes. "Captain Ryder," the general said, "we have received a distress signal from a distant planet, Siloria. It appears to be in trouble. You are to lead a team to investigate." Alex's heart raced. A new mission, but doubts crept into his mind. He had just returned from a long and brutal campaign. Did he have the strength to face new dangers? He was about to decline when he remembered the cries of innocent people, the destruction of cities. He knew he could not turn away from a chance to help. "Understood, sir," Alex replied, forcing himself to sound confident. "Gather your team and prepare for departure. Time is of the essence," General Hayes instructed before the screen went dark. Alex took a deep breath, pushing aside his fears. He knew he had to put together a strong team. He thought of Dr. Lena Wu, a brilliant scientist known for her quick thinking and creativity. She could help with the technology they might encounter. Then there was Jax Torres, a skilled mechanic with a knack for fixing anything. Jax could keep their equipment running smoothly, even in the toughest situations. After gathering his team, Alex shared the mission details. Lena's eyes sparkled with excitement, while Jax cracked a joke to lighten the mood. "An alien princess. I hope she's not like the ones in the movies," he teased, making everyone laugh. Their spirits lifted, and Alex felt a flicker of hope. As they prepared to leave, Alex looked around at his team. They were a mix of personalities but united in their goal. He felt a sense of responsibility for them. He wanted to protect them and ensure they returned home safely. The next day, they boarded the U.S. Discovery, a sleek spacecraft designed for long journeys. As the ship's engines roared to life, Alex glanced out the window. Earth faded into the distance, and a wave of determination washed over him. He knew this journey could be dangerous, but it was also a chance to start anew. They were headed to Siloria, a planet full of mysteries and challenges. As they soared through the stars, Alex felt a mix of excitement and anxiety. He had a mission to complete and people to protect. Little did he know, this journey would change his life forever and lead him to a destiny he never expected. Journey to Siloria. The U.S. Discovery hummed with energy as it soared through the dark void of space. Inside the ship, Captain Alex Rider stood at the control panel, his heart pounding with excitement and fear. He was in command of this mission, and the weight of that responsibility rested heavily on his shoulders. Beside him, Dr. Lena Wu monitored the ship's systems, her eyes darting over the screens filled with data. "Everything looks good so far, Captain," Lena said, her voice steady. "We'll be at Siloria in about 3 days, if we maintain our speed." Alex nodded, grateful for Lena's confidence. She had a way of making even the most complicated things seem simple. Meanwhile, in the back of the ship, Jax Torres was busy working on a malfunctioning engine panel. His hands were greasy, and a look of concentration filled his face. "Hey Jax, how's it going back there?" Alex called. "Just fine, Captain. A few tweaks here and there, and we'll be ready for anything," Jax replied with a grin, wiping sweat from his forehead. As the ship sped through the stars, Alex's mind wandered. He thought about Siloria. What would it be like? Would they find the princess? He was determined to bring her home, But a nagging fear tugged at him. What if they failed? What if something went wrong? The first day passed quickly. They ate simple meals and shared stories to pass the time. Lena spoke about her research on alien cultures, her passion lighting up the room. Jax entertained them with funny tales of his past adventures as a mechanic, making everyone laugh. Alex listened, feeling the bond between them grow stronger. On the second day, things took an unexpected turn. The ship suddenly shook, alarms blared, and the lights flickered. Alex grabbed the controls, his heart racing. "What's happening?" he shouted. "Unknown object detected. We're entering an asteroid field." Lena shouted back, her fingers flying over the controls to stabilize the ship. "Jax, get ready to help," Alex ordered, his eyes focused on the screen showing the approaching asteroids. They were huge, tumbling in the darkness like giants. "On it," Jax responded, rushing to the control room. He quickly analyzed the situation. "We need to maneuver around them, Captain. If we hit even one, it could damage the ship." Alex nodded, his mind racing. "Lena, can you calculate a safe route?" "Already on it," Lena replied, her eyes narrowed in concentration. She worked furiously, adjusting the ship's course. "Hold on," Alex shouted as he made the ship bank sharply to the left, dodging the first asteroid. The crew braced themselves as the ship swerved to avoid another. "Faster, Captain. There's more coming," Lena urged. Alex's hands gripped the controls tightly. He pushed the ship to its limits, weaving through the field with precision. Jax monitored the engines, making sure everything was running smoothly. They were a well-oiled machine, working together as one. Finally, after what felt like an eternity, they cleared the asteroid field. The alarm stopped, and the ship steadied itself. Everyone let out a collective sigh of relief. "That was close," Jax said, wiping his brow. "Too close," Alex agreed, a smile breaking across his face. "But we did it together. Good job, team." As the stars twinkled outside, Alex felt a surge of pride. They had faced danger and come out stronger. With Siluria ahead, he knew this journey would test them in ways they could never imagine. But they were ready, and together, they would face whatever awaited them in the unknown. Arrival on Siluria. After 2 long days of traveling through space, the U.S. Discovery finally approached the planet Siluria. The crew gathered at the control panel, their eyes wide with wonder as they saw the vibrant colors of the planet below. Greens, blues, and purples swirled together, creating a breathtaking view. "Look at that!" exclaimed Dr. Lena Wu, her voice filled with excitement. "It's beautiful." Captain Alex Ryder smiled, feeling a mix of anticipation and nerves. "Prepare for landing, team." "Jax, check the landing gear." "On it, Captain," Jax Torres replied, his hands busy with the controls. As he worked, Alex kept his gaze fixed on the planet. Siluria was unlike anything he had ever seen, with vast forests and shimmering lakes. Entering the atmosphere, Lena announced as the ship began to shake gently. "Hold tight." The ship descended through the clouds, and the scenery became clearer. Tall trees with strange shapes towered over the land, their leaves sparkling in the sunlight. As they got closer, Alex noticed strange creatures moving among the trees, some resembling large, colorful birds, while others looked like gentle giants. Finally, the ship touched down on a soft patch of grass near a sparkling blue lake. The engines quieted, and a sense of adventure filled the air. Alex looked at his team, their eyes shining with excitement. "Let's explore," he said, stepping off the ship first. The fresh air hit him like a wave, filling his lungs with the sweet scent of flowers. The world around him buzzed with life, and he felt a thrill run through him. Lena followed, her eyes darting around as she took notes. "This ecosystem is incredible. I can't wait to study it." Jack stepped down next, cracking jokes as he admired the scenery. "If I had known it would be this nice, I would have joined the adventure earlier." As they moved away from the ship, Alex led the way towards a small group of trees. Suddenly, they heard a rustling sound. The team paused, holding their breath. Out from the bushes stepped a group of Xilorians, tall beings with smooth skin that glimmered like gemstones. Their eyes were large and expressive, filled with curiosity. "Hello," one of the Xilorians said, speaking in a melodious voice. "We are the people of Xiloria. Who are you?" "We are from Earth," Alex replied, trying to sound calm. "We came to help. We received a distress signal." The Xilorians exchanged worried glances. "The princess, Lyra, is in danger. She was captured by the Krager tribe." Another Xilorian explained, "We have been trying to save her, but we need your help." Alex felt a surge of determination. "We will rescue her. Tell us where to find her." The Xilorians led the team deeper into the forest, explaining the situation as they walked. "The Kragar are fierce and powerful. They have taken Lyra to their stronghold, hidden in the mountains." As they walked, Alex studied the Xilorians, noting their grace and strength. They were a proud people, and he felt honored to be part of their mission. Together, they would face the challenges ahead. Finally, they'd reached a clearing, where a beautiful view of the mountains awaited them. The sun shone brightly, casting a golden glow on the peaks. "We must prepare for battle," Alex said, his heart racing with purpose. "But first, we need to plan." As the sun set behind the mountains, painting the sky with colors of red and orange, the team gathered around to discuss their plan. Alex felt a sense of unity growing among them. They were not just a team anymore. They were allies in a fight for a brave princess and her people. Together, they would face whatever awaited them in this new world. The princess's plight. As the sun dipped below the mountains, the atmosphere was thick with tension. Captain Alex Ryder and his team gathered with the Xilorian leaders in a large circle, discussing their next steps. The Xilorians spoke with a mix of worry and hope in their voices. They knew how important it was to rescue Princess Lyra. "She is our leader and our hope," said Eldrin, the oldest Xilorian. "Without her, our people are lost. The Krager tribe will use her to gain power over us." Alex felt the weight of responsibility on his shoulders. He understood that their mission was not just about saving a princess. It was about saving a whole civilization. "We will get her back," he promised, looking around at his team and the Xilorian warriors. "But we need a solid plan." Dr. Lena Wu stepped forward, holding a small device. "I've been analyzing the data we gathered on the Krager tribe. They have a stronghold in the mountains, surrounded by guards. If we can find a way to sneak in, we might be able to rescue Lyra without a full-on battle." Jax nodded. "I can create a distraction. I'll rig a few devices to make noise on one side of their camp. That should pull some guards away from the entrance." Alex felt a spark of excitement. "Great idea. While the guards are distracted, we can sneak in and find Lyra." Eldrin spoke up again. "We know that Lyra is being held in a large cave deep within the Krager stronghold. But the cave is protected by a powerful force field. We must find a way to disable it before we can reach her." Lena's eyes lit up. "I can help with that. If we can get close enough, I might be able to hack into their technology and disable the force field." As they laid out their plan, the team felt a renewed sense of purpose. They would work together, combining their skills and knowledge to rescue Lyra. Alex felt a connection with the Xilorians. They were fighting for the same cause. The next day, under the cover of early morning, the team set out towards the Krager stronghold. They moved quietly through the dense forest, the sounds of nature surrounding them. Birds chirped and leaves rustled in the breeze, but the tension in the air was palpable. As they approached the mountains, they could see the towering cliffs of the Krager stronghold in the distance. The sheer walls seemed impossible to climb, but the team was determined. "Stay close and be quiet," Alex whispered, leading the way. They reached the base of the cliffs and spotted the entrance guarded by two large Krager warriors. The Krager were known for their brute strength and fierce loyalty to their tribe. Alex felt his heart race. This was their moment. "Jax, are you ready?" Alex asked, glancing at his mechanic friend, who was crouched behind a rock with a bag of tools. "Ready as I'll ever be," Jax replied with a grin. "Just give me the signal." Lena prepared her device, focusing on the guards. "Once the distraction goes off, we need to move fast. I'll be right behind you to disable the force field." With a deep breath, Alex gave Jax the nod. The mechanic activated his devices, and loud noises erupted from the other side of the camp. The guards turned, confused and angry, running towards the sound. "Now!" Alex shouted, and the team sprinted towards the entrance. As they rushed inside, adrenaline surged through them. They were so close to finding Lyra, but they still had to overcome the challenges ahead. Inside the dark cave, they could hear muffled cries. "Lyra," Alex called out, his heart pounding. He hoped she was safe, but they had to be careful. The real challenge was just beginning. The rescue operation. Inside the dark cave, the air was thick with tension. Captain Alex Ryder and his team moved carefully, their hearts pounding with each step. They could hear the faint cries of Princess Lyra echoing through the stone corridors. She was close, but they had to be cautious. The Kragar were known for their fierce protection of their prisoners. "Stay low and quiet," Alex whispered, leading the way. Dr. Lena Wu followed closely, her device ready to disable the force field that guarded Lyra. Jax Torres stayed behind them, keeping an eye out for any Kragar soldiers. As they approached a large chamber, Alex signaled for the team to stop. He peered around the corner and saw a glowing force field shimmering in front of a heavy door. Behind it, he could hear Lyra's voice, desperate yet strong. "She's in there," he said, pointing to the door. "Lena, can you get past that force field?" Lena nodded, determination in her eyes. "I can try, but I need to get closer. We need to distract the guards first." Just then, 2 Kragar soldiers appeared, marching towards the door. Alex held his breath, and Jax quickly pulled out a small device. "I've got this," he whispered. With a quick press of a button, the device emitted a loud noise, echoing from the opposite side of the cave. The guards turned, confused by the sound. "What was that?" one of them asked, looking toward the noise. "Let's check it out," the other guard replied. They hurried away from the door, giving Alex and his team their chance. "Now's our moment," Alex urged, and they dashed forward. Lena quickly crouched in front of the force field, her fingers flying over her device. Jax stood ready, watching for any returning guards. "It's working. I just need a few more seconds," Lena said, sweat beading on her forehead. Alex glanced nervously at the door, willing it to open. "Hurry, Lena. We don't have much time." With a final beep, Lena's device lit up. "Got it," she exclaimed as the force field flickered and vanished. The heavy door creaked open, revealing a dark room filled with shadows. "Lyra," Alex called as he stepped inside. There, tied to a chair in the center of the room, was the princess. Her hair was disheveled, but her spirit remained unbroken. She looked up, her eyes lighting with hope. "Alex," Lyra exclaimed, relief flooding her voice. "You came for me." "Of course. We're here to get you out," Alex replied, rushing to her side. He quickly untied her hands, and she stood up, regaining her strength. "We need to leave quickly," Lyra warned. "The Kragar will notice I'm gone soon." "Lena, can you lead us back?" Alex asked, glancing at his scientist friend. "Absolutely. Follow me," Lena said, leading the way back toward the exit. Jax moved at the rear, ready to protect their backs. As they retraced their steps, they heard footsteps approaching. "They're coming," Jax shouted, panic rising in his voice. "Quick, in here." Lena pointed to a side corridor. They squeezed into the narrow space just as the guards entered the chamber. Holding their breath, they listened as the guards passed by, unaware of their presence. Alex felt a rush of adrenaline. They were so close to escaping, but they had to stay quiet. Once the guards moved on, they crept out of the corridor and made their way back towards the entrance of the cave. The light of the outside world shone like a beacon, guiding them closer to safety. As they burst into the open air, relief washed over them. But they weren't out of danger yet. "We need to reach the forest before they realize we're gone," Lyra urged, leading the way. With the sound of their pursuers echoing behind them, they raced toward the safety of the trees. Alex felt a mix of joy and urgency. They had found Lyra, but the real fight was far from over. Escape and betrayal. The sun began to rise over Xyloria, painting the sky in bright shades of orange and pink. Captain Alex Ryder, Princess Lyra, Dr. Lena Wu, and Jax Torres raced through the dense forest, their hearts pounding as they fled the Kragar stronghold. The sound of their pursuers echoed in the distance, pushing them to move faster. "Keep going," Alex shouted, glancing back to see if they were being followed. "We have to reach the ship before they catch us." Lyra, her eyes wide with fear and determination, sprinted beside him. "I can't believe you came for me. I thought I would never escape," she said breathlessly. "We won't let anything happen to you," Alex assured her. "We'll get you back to safety." They dashed deeper into the trees, where the thick foliage provided some cover. But as they ran, Alex sensed something was off. He noticed that Jax was lagging behind, constantly looking over his shoulder. "Jax, hurry up," he called, but before Jax could respond, a loud shout pierced the air. "Stop right there." A Kragar warrior emerged from the trees, brandishing a heavy club. Behind him, more Kragar soldiers appeared, surrounding them. "Run," Alex shouted, pushing Lyra ahead. "Get to the ship." But as they turned to flee, Alex felt a heavy hand on his shoulder. He spun around to see Jax, standing with the Kragar warrior, a wicked smile on his face. "Sorry, Captain," Jax said, his voice dripping with betrayal. "But I have my own plans." "What are you doing?" Alex couldn't believe what he was seeing. Jax had been their ally, the one they trusted. "Why would you betray us?" "Because the Kragar promised me power and riches," Jax replied, a glint of greed in his eyes. "You fools never understood how strong I could be. The Kragar will reward me for bringing you in." Lyra gasped, her hands covering her mouth in shock. "Jax, how could you do this?" she asked, hurt evident in her voice. "Save your breath, Princess. You're all going to regret trusting me," Jax sneered. He signaled to the Kragar soldiers, who stepped closer, ready to capture them. But Alex wasn't going to give up without a fight. He took a deep breath, gathering his courage. "Lena, now," he shouted. Lena, who had been hiding behind a tree, leaped into action. She activated a small device she had brought with her, causing a bright flash of light. The Kragar soldiers stumbled back, momentarily blinded. "Go," Alex yelled, grabbing Lyra's hand. They took off running, dodging the stunned guards as they made their escape deeper into the forest. They ran as fast as they could, hearts racing. "We need to get to the ship before they regroup," Alex urged, glancing over his shoulder. He felt a mix of fear and anger. Jax had betrayed them, but they couldn't let that stop them now. As they sprinted through the underbrush, the sounds of the Kragar shouting for Jax and regrouping filled the air. They were close, but they needed to stay focused. Finally, they reached the clearing where the U.S. Discovery was parked. Alex quickly punched in the launch codes, and the ship's engines roared to life. "We made it," he exclaimed, relief flooding his voice. Lyra climbed aboard, and Lena followed closely. But as Alex prepared to enter, he felt a sharp pain in his side. He turned to see Jax standing there, holding a knife, his eyes wild with rage. "You won't leave without me," he shouted. "You're making a big mistake, Jax," Alex warned, stepping back. But before he could react, Jax lunged forward. In that moment, Lena stepped in front of Alex, her own fear replaced by bravery. "You're outnumbered, Jax. It's over," she declared. But Jax just laughed. "You think you can stop me? I'll take you down with me if I have to." He lunged at Lena, but she quickly dodged to the side, causing him to stumble. With a swift motion, Alex moved in. "Enough," he shouted, grabbing Jax's arm and twisting it behind his back. "You're not getting away with this." Realizing he was defeated, Jax stopped struggling, fury written all over his face. "You'll regret this, Ryder. You'll all pay." He spat, knowing he had lost. As the ship's doors closed behind them, Alex felt a sense of victory mixed with sadness. They had escaped, but they had lost a friend. "Let's go home," he said quietly, glancing at Lyra and Lena. They nodded, ready for the journey ahead, determined to put the betrayal behind them. Building alliances. As the U.S. Discovery soared through the skies of Siluria, Captain Alex Ryder took a moment to breathe. They had escaped the clutches of the Krager, but the battle was far from over. The betrayal of Jax Torres still weighed heavily on their hearts. They needed to gather allies to strengthen their position against the Krager tribe. "Lyra," Alex said, turning to the princess, who was seated at the control panel beside him. "We need to reach your people and build an alliance. Without support, we won't be able to defeat the Kragar." Lyra nodded, her expression serious. "Yes, my people will rally if they know I am safe. They trust me, and together, we can stand against the Kragar." She paused, her brow furrowing. "But we must be careful. Jax may have warned them of our plans." Dr. Lena Wu, busy analyzing data on her tablet, looked up. "We should contact the Silurian leaders immediately. They can help us gather support and form a united front against the Kragar." Alex agreed. "Let's find a safe place to land and make contact. We need to act fast." After a short flight, they found a hidden valley surrounded by tall mountains and thick trees. The place looked peaceful, a perfect spot to regroup. Alex landed the ship softly, and the team stepped out, feeling the cool breeze on their faces. "Let's set up communications," Lena said, pulling out a device. She worked quickly, tuning into the frequencies used by the Silurians. As they waited, Lyra took a deep breath, looking around the valley. "This place is beautiful," she said, her voice soft. "It reminds me of home." "Let's make it a stronghold," Alex replied, determination in his eyes. "We can make this place a base for our allies." Just then, a crackle came from Lena's device. "I have a connection," she exclaimed, excitement in her voice. "Lyra, it's your chance," Alex urged. "Talk to your people. They need to hear from you." Lyra took a deep breath, gathering her thoughts. "This is Princess Lyra," she began, her voice steady. "I have escaped from the Krager tribe, but they are still a threat to us all. We need to unite against them. Together, we are stronger." There was a brief pause, and then a voice came through. "Princess, we feared the worst. We will rally our forces and come to your aid. Where do you need us?" Lyra smiled, hope looming in her heart. "Meet us at the hidden valley. We will prepare for our next steps together." As the call ended, Lena turned to the others. "They will be here soon. We should set up defenses in case the Kragar come looking for us." They quickly got to work, using materials from the ship to create barriers and lookout points. Alex felt a sense of purpose as they built their temporary base. This was their chance to prepare for the fight ahead. Hours passed, and just as the sun began to set, a group of Silurian warriors arrived, led by Eldrin, the wise elder. He approached Lyra, his expression a mix of relief and admiration. "You are safe, my princess. We feared the worst." "Thank you for coming, Eldrin," Lyra replied, grateful tears in her eyes. "We need your strength to face the Kragar." Eldrin nodded, looking around at the assembled warriors. "Together, we will fight for our freedom." The Kragar will not take our home." As the night fell, they gathered around a fire, sharing stories and plans. The Exilorians spoke of their struggles and losses, while Alex and Lena shared their own experiences from Earth. Bonds began to form, and trust grew stronger among them. "Tomorrow, we will discuss our strategy," Alex said, feeling the energy of hope surrounding them. "But tonight, we are united." Lyra smiled at Alex, feeling grateful for his support. "Together, we can defeat the Kragar and protect our world." As the fire crackled and the stars twinkled above, the group felt a sense of purpose and determination. They were no longer just individuals fighting for survival. They were allies, ready to face whatever challenges lay ahead. The final battle. The day of the final battle had arrived. Captain Alex Ryder, Princess Lyra, and their newfound allies from Siloria stood together in the hidden valley, their faces grim but determined. The air was thick with tension as they prepared to face the Kragar tribe. This was the moment they had been fighting for, a chance to reclaim their freedom. "Today, we stand united," Lyra called out to the gathered warriors. Her voice rang strong and clear. "We fight not just for ourselves, but for the future of our people. Together, we can defeat the Kragar." The warriors cheered, their spirits lifted by Lyra's words. Alex felt a surge of pride as he looked at the group. They were no longer just a team. They were a family, ready to protect each other. "Here's the plan," Alex began, outlining their strategy. "Lena will monitor the Kragar's movements from the ship and provide us with updates. Eldrin and his warriors will flank the Kragar from the east, while we take the western approach. Our goal is to catch them by surprise." Lena nodded, adjusting the settings on her communication device. "I'll keep you updated on their numbers and movements. We need to be quick and coordinated." As the sun rose high in the sky, they set out towards the Kragar stronghold. The path was rocky and steep, but the group moved with purpose. Each step brought them closer to their enemy, and Alex felt the weight of the mission on his shoulders. When they reached the edge of the Kragar territory, Alex signaled for everyone to stop. They hid behind a cluster of rocks, watching as Kragar soldiers patrolled the area. The warriors looked fierce, their muscles bulging and weapons gleaming in the sunlight. "Stay quiet," Alex whispered, his heart racing. "We wait for Lena's signal." Minutes felt like hours as they waited. Suddenly, a crackling sound came through the device. "The Kragar are distracted," Lena's voice echoed in their ears. "Now is your chance." "Let's go," Alex shouted, and the group surged forward, charging into the heart of the Kragar stronghold. The element of surprise worked in their favor. The Kragar soldiers were caught off guard, confusion spreading among them. Lyra led the charge, her spirit unyielding. She swung her weapon, striking down the first Kragar that approached her. The warriors behind her followed suit, fighting with bravery and skill. Alex fought alongside Lyra, every move driven by the need to protect her and their newfound allies. He felt powerful, fighting for a cause greater than himself. Together, they pushed deeper into the stronghold, overcoming the Kragar one by one. But then, a roar echoed through the battlefield. Kragar Chief Therak, the leader of the tribe, stepped forward. His towering figure was imposing, his eyes filled with rage. "You dare challenge me?" he thundered. "You will pay for your defiance." Alex's heart raced. This is it, he thought, determination flooding his veins. We have to defeat him. Lyra stepped forward, standing beside Alex. We will not back down, Therak. We fight for our freedom and our people. With a roar, Therak charged at them. Alex and Lyra worked together, dodging his powerful strikes. They fought with everything they had, their movements synchronized, as if they had trained together for years. The battle raged around them, but Alex's focus remained on Therak. They were running out of time. With a sudden burst of strength, Alex managed to land a solid blow against Therak, staggering the chief. Lyra seized the moment, her weapon aimed at Therak's heart. "For Xiloria," she cried, striking with all her might. The Kragar chief fell to the ground, defeated. Cheers erupted around them as the remaining Kragar soldiers began to flee. They had won. Exhausted but victorious, Alex looked at Lyra, their eyes meeting in a moment of triumph. "We did it," Lyra said, breathless and smiling. "Yes, we did," Alex replied, his heart swelling with pride. Together, they had overcome the odds, uniting their people and securing their freedom. As the sun set on the battlefield, the team celebrated their hard-won victory, knowing that this was just the beginning of a new chapter for Xyloria. A new beginning. The sun rose slowly over the valley, casting a warm glow on the land. Captain Alex Ryder, Princess Lyra, and their allies stood together, gazing at the aftermath of the battle. The air was filled with the sounds of celebration, laughter, and the distant echoes of victory. They had defeated the Kragar tribe, and now, a new beginning awaited them. As the warriors cheered, Alex felt a sense of relief wash over him. They had fought hard, and their efforts had paid off. Lyra stood beside him, her face glowing with joy. "We did it, Alex. Xyloria is free." "Yes, we did," Alex replied, a proud smile spreading across his face. "This victory belongs to everyone. We fought as one." And that made all the difference. Eldrin, the wise elder of the Xylorian people, approached them, his expression serious but filled with hope. "Today, we have shown what we can achieve when we stand together. The Kragar will no longer threaten our homes. We must rebuild and strengthen our alliances." Lyra nodded. "You're right, Eldrin. We need to unite our people and prepare for a bright future. We can learn from this battle and become stronger." As the day went on, the Xylorian warriors began to clear the battlefield, collecting the remains of the Kragar and preparing for a proper burial. The fallen warriors deserved respect, regardless of their tribe. Alex watched as Lyra helped organize the effort, her leadership shining through. She was truly a princess in every sense of the word. Later that afternoon, a gathering was held in the heart of the valley. The Xylorian people and their new allies came together to celebrate their victory. Tables were filled with food, laughter, and music filled the air. Alex and Lyra joined the celebration, feeling the weight of their burdens lift. As night fell, the stars sparkled above them, and Eldrin stood to address the crowd. "Tonight, we celebrate not just our victory, but the promise of a new beginning. Let us remember those who fought bravely, and let us honor their memory by creating a world of peace." The crowd cheered, raising their cups in unison. "To peace," they shouted. Later, as the festivities continued, Alex and Lyra stepped away from the crowd. They found a quiet spot under a large tree, away from the noise. "I can't believe how far we've come," Lyra said, looking up at the stars. "I was captured, but now I'm free, and our people have hope." Alex nodded, feeling a deep connection with her. "You showed incredible strength, Lyra. You inspired everyone to fight for what is right. This new beginning is thanks to you." She turned to him, her eyes shining. "And you believed in me. You risked everything to save me and unite our people. I will always be grateful." As they talked, a new plan began to form in their minds. They realized that their journey was not just about winning battles, but about building a future. "We should create a council," Lyra suggested, "a place where all the tribes can come together to discuss their needs and ideas. We can ensure that no one will face the threat of war again." Alex smiled at her vision. "That's a great idea. A council can help maintain peace and strengthen our alliances. Together, we can make sure Xyloria becomes a land of unity and hope," Lyra said, her voice filled with passion. As they stood there, under the vast sky filled with stars, Alex and Lyra felt a deep sense of purpose. They had faced many challenges, but they were ready to embrace whatever came next. Their journey had changed them. And now, hand in hand, they were prepared to lead their people into a new beginning. And so, with hope in their hearts and a vision for the future, they stepped back into the celebration, ready to create a brighter world for all of Siluria.